2 weeks ago, I thought we were lining up for a cat fight, the Kree vs. Quake. But we have some other things first.
Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing
Fun and Games, Episode 6 of Season 5 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And like I said at the beginning, yeah, we have a cat fight coming. But before that, we need to deal with all of the rest of the crazy going on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And to be honest, the episode brings up lots of thoughts of exactly what it means to be sold and the slavery angle, and how you maintain control over a large group of people, or, well, a large group of anything, over time, how you force them to subjugate themselves, and of course, the concept of how S.H.I.E.L.D. interacts in this future, and of course, the fact that there's a cursed love story that has a really funny scene. But for those of you that don't know, what I do here is I examine stories. I try to figure out theme and symbolism, explore the how and why we tell each story, and then break them down for you. I do reviews as stories come back and Throwback Thursdays every Thursday. On Sundays, I do theory videos. If that sounds interesting, click the subscribe button. For now, we're traveling through time with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and last week we learned, no, 2 weeks ago we learned that Fitz was going to take the slow path, or the long road, depending on how you look at it, to get to where they are now. And now we see what his plan is, or, well, what passes his plan. I'm going to miss not seeing Bobby and Hunter again, but for now, let's throw this up there and get started.
So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time.
Okay, so the agents are on the station, and the kids are all being rounded up, even the ones that haven't yet gone through Terrigenesis. And the reason is because they want to be able to make new weapons. And it's an interesting concept if you think about it. What's the most valuable weapon in the world? Well, a superpowered being. Now, on the other hand, we have the fact that Fitz has gone undercover, pretending to be one of the buyers. And what he's done is created a persona for himself where he's basically just gaining their trust. But I love the fact that he pointed out exactly how Caius's plan works. How do you keep the humans in line? You make them kill each other. How do you do that? Turn it into a game, turn it into sport. Unfortunately, that's very realistic throughout history, pointing and making someone else the other, making them the enemy, and then telling people to go kill the enemy, not other people like themselves, has worked pretty well at basically controlling populations. We've seen it throughout history. But now it's an alien force doing it, one that has superior technology and is controlling the repopulation of the world as well. Well, what's left of the world. But okay, then we start with our first fight. And it's good old Agent May, the Cavalry, against our resident telepath. And it's kind of a cool fight. If you think about it, she gets a few licks in, which is more than anyone else does. And the reason for it is she says that she doesn't think. She just acts. And it's one of those things that I complained about a while ago about people when they have pre-understanding, pre-sentience about an event. If you can see the future and you're fighting Batman, all you should be able to see is how much it's going to hurt when you get your butt kicked. Of course, this show handles that a little better than most because the guy has training. But May figures out a way to give herself at least a little bit of an edge. It just devolves her needing to get Fitz to throw a fit. And it's a pretty good trick. Meanwhile, Fitz and Simmons have what I said up top was a pretty hysterical scene, but one of those ones that you just knew was coming. He has this whole big thing, oh, I love you, and this and the other thing, and will you marry me? And she can't hear a damn word he's saying. If you didn't believe these two had a cursed love life before, you certainly will now. Now, then again, we have this guy, and, well, I'm not quite sure what to make of him still. He was using prophecy all that time ago to come up with all of this, but he appears to not really know what's going on. Yeah, he has a plan, sort of, but for the most part, his plan is just get Fitz here and buy Quake. He couldn't come up with anything better than that. I would like to think that given 90 years to plan, I would have come up with a much more intricate and detailed plan with fallbacks. But not him. Okay. So then, of course, we have all the trouble with the fact that there's the Inhuman on the station. And poofta, I'm a little disappointed, honestly. I know that we learn about characters because they're important, but wouldn't it have been so much cooler if the kid hadn't been an Inhuman, if someone else was who they had to rescue? The little character moments with, especially Yo-Yo, but Yo-Yo and Mac, especially Yo-Yo though, really do stand out in an episode like this because, again, this is a big beat 'em up episode that's been advertised. But the little heartfelt moments between the two of them, where you find out just a little more about what made Yo-Yo, the story about her first coming into her powers, Mac calling her a crazy woman when the other guy says some crazy woman, yeah, I'm kind of on the same side. And of course, just the two of them are big damn heroes. Figuring out between them and Coulson how to rescue the kid was pretty amazing. I was sorry to see our other person who was in on the secret go, but I guess the fact that we have the Watcher guy back from being, I guess he will somewhat have the ability to give them the rest of the seasons, well, mid-season probably, info about what's going on. Now, the fight itself was much more of a tearjerker than I expected. I mean, here's this woman who's basically willing to give her life for you, and this woman who's basically being forced to fight to the death, and everybody knows she doesn't stand a friggin' chance against Quake. But in the end, Caius is willing to sacrifice anyone as just another pawn. And of course, then comes Daisy's part of the plan, and the fact that she has to break out somehow. And, of course, the fact that Fitz has the blue stunner, of course, comes into play. I did like the fact that while everyone was kind of just in awe, the brother of Caius did figure out to turn off her powers. And I am curious to see where we go from here, because let's be honest, now we have the team back together pretty much at the end of the episode. But there was just enough time for another funny Fitzsimmons moment. Fitz all acting like the badass, shooting without even looking, and then telling her, grabbing her in his arm and being like, I never want to be apart. And then she's all like, will you marry me? And he's like, wait, I totally asked you while you were deaf. I totally did. An excellent callback within the episode. Next week is going to be one hell of a episode, because I'm getting the feeling that we're building to a head here on all of this. Now, the fact that this Watcher, Enoch, was able to impersonate a Kree as easily as a human makes me wonder exactly what's going on with him. And then there's this rumor going around that they've somehow managed to get Galactus into this season, but I can't see that. That's gotta be BS. But either way, whatever happens next is going to be amazing. He's getting May. Quake and them are going to head back to Coulson and them. We have the new kid who's got the Earth control powers. And I'm still hoping for a Captain Marvel reference. But overall, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been awesome. I'm enjoying it. It was nice and fast. But I have to ask, what do you guys think? Do you think that Fitzsimmons are cursed? Do you think that their little comedic romance is worth it? Do you think that Quake is really the destroyer of worlds? Do you think Galactus is going to show up? And most importantly, did you like this episode review? Because if so, I need you to click that thumbs up button and like this video, share it with some friends, and of course, if you haven't already, subscribe. I'm just shy of 90 subscribers, and when I hit 100, I'm going to give away a free Amazon gift card to one of you lovely followers. For now, though, I'd like you to really think about what it means to get to the heart of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If this is its last season, it's going out with a bang. I've fallen in love with Phil Coulson all over again each episode, but even the more supporting cast, like Yo-Yo and Mac, have really driven it home. I hope you have a good night, and thanks for watching.